I'm Meaza, Public Outreach Director at Trans-Africa, one of the co-presenters of the New African Film Festival. New African Film Festival is presented by Trans-Africa, AFI Silver, and the Africa Cafe. Started presenting it here with the AFI Silver in 2006. I think the first time we only had about 9 films. It was about 9 films that were presented for the week, and this year we have double that amount, 18 films from all over the African continent. But one thing that's been constant, we've always had films from all over the African continent, north, south, east, west, central Africa, and it's grown tremendously in terms of the number of people coming out to see the films. And then also we've been fortunate now that the number of films to choose from has also expanded tremendously in the last 10 years.
There's a Q&A after the film. My producer, Mehret Mandefro, is here. She's going to join me on that. So, in 2005, I met Meaza, his brother, at a dinner, and he told me a story about his sister. And he said, like everybody would say, "Oh, you should make a movie about my sister." Yeah, I laughed about it, and then I typed in her name and 1,000 pages came out. And what she was able to do in Ethiopia at that time blew me away. And I wanted to meet her, and I asked to meet her, and a couple of months later we met, and she was very skeptical about a man in Ethiopia that wanted to do a story about women's issues.
Very interesting and motivating, and especially since I went to school with Meaza Law School and we were kind of classmates. I'm really very proud of her, and bringing this issue of gender to the surface and making a difference in the Ethiopian law is really very important. I'm very, very proud of you, Meaza. Good work.
Where did you get the acting from? I thought they were all very good. I thought, especially Hirut, for being young. I thought she was right on.
One of the most difficult things for us to do was to actually find the right actors for the story. And Hirut's character is a 14-year-old girl, and probably the most emotionally charged character that we have in the film. And finding that character was so difficult for us because there's one of the things so it took us about 8 months of doing auditions. My casting director printed out 5,000 flyers and started going to elementary school and high schools trying to find people, and we were shuttling kids from Monday to Sunday after school, taking them from their schools, bringing them to our studio and audition. And this is and they've never been in front of a camera before. They've never acted before. So we did that for 8 months and couldn't find anybody. Then 2 weeks before we shot, 13 years old, Tizita, never been on camera before, an orphan herself, lives in an orphanage, and she was interested in learning how to act, and that was her first month. So we came here.
A lot of respect for Mehret and Zeresenay for choosing to really talk and discuss in detail about women's issues. Of all the films they could have made, to make an issue to make a film about about the struggles of young women in Ethiopia, while also being very sensitive to the culture and tradition. I really respect them for that. I think that we always like to say sort of this is the year of the women, or this is the year of the children, but for me, there's so many different stories to take away from this film. First of all, it's based on a true story, so the fact that that there is success or light at the end of the tunnel is key. The fact that there are women who, against all odds, are still fighting on behalf of other young women and willing to put themselves at the forefront of these issues, I find very empowering.
Amazing, because Ethiopia is such a beautiful place. Any other camera cannot do justice, and I know how difficult it is to shoot in 35 these days. So I was so pleased and delighted to see the story shot in that format. The context of the current movies that are coming from Ethiopia that are so combobulated and so confused, you know, a very ugly translation of imitation of Hollywood. So this is a sunshine to me, a bright story. This is how Ethiopian story should be told. So in the context of that madness, I was delighted to see something that can stand clearly on its own to define, to spell out Ethiopian cinema. This is a birth of Ethiopian cinema for me. Thank you.
This was 2009. I was speaking at a conference in LA after that screening, and he showed me the script. And you know, there's actually multiple people here who read the script. It was a no-brainer. It was a page-turner, and I was completely blown away by the story, blown away by the way it was told, and I was already very invested in research and work that was highlighting the social determinants of health. So for me, this actually fit in my own kind of sphere of expertise. So it was just a no-brainer. I was like, okay, we have to do this somehow, some way. So we jumped on in 2009, and it was a straight grassroots effort. A lot of people said no. Funders kept asking for things like they wanted Halle Berry to play Meaza, and you know, all kinds of things that didn't really make sense to the story. So we really took it to the community, and you saw all of those names, which many of you are in this film, our Kickstarter supporters. And we raised the money, and also with some wonderful Ethiopian investors like Leelai Demoz, who we could not have shot this film without. So that was the journey.
Congratulations.
Very well done, both from the technical point of view, and the history reflects the present day Ethiopia with all its contradiction between the old and the new. It was a very difficult movie to make, I think, especially the casting. The actors were very, very good, and the director was very sensitive to the thing. It was made on a natural scenario, no thing. No, it was marvelous. It was a first class film.
And true Ethiopian images were transmitted to the world. The country life, the city life, and so forth. And the laws of the land, and it's very exciting.
Thank you so much.
Just to add a little bit of spice to the story, I know Meaza Ashenafi very, very well before she became even famous. What the producer or director didn't tell us, the public, is that she has now become chairman of the first Ethiopian Women Bank in Ethiopia. She's exciting. She's a wonderful person.
When did that happen?
About a year ago.
A year ago. Okay, that's
Yes,
honor. That's
indeed.
Great. That you know.
Yes, indeed. It's an achievement. It's really, it's an achievement, and she's a wonderful person.
Because we finished cutting the film at in the winter, and then right after that we were accepted at Sundance, so we had to go to Sundance, and then 5 days later we were in Berlin. So we didn't have time really to actually go to Ethiopia because we wanted to do it proper. Yeah.
Tell me what proper means.
Proper means that actually having an opening, a premiere, with acknowledging the actors, the people who helped the film, and also inviting people that are interested in the media and film, and also people that are close to this issue.
So what other types of social issues do you have on the horizon that you're planning on digging into?
Oh, where should I start?
Your top 3.
Well, I'm interested about immigration. I want to talk about that. I also have a story that I wanted to do about human trafficking and prostitution. Also, that's an issue that's affecting us a great deal. Those are the top 2 in my mind right now. Of course, they're far away from actually being a full conceptualized works, but I would love to put a little bit of time to understand how this is affecting our community.